Good morning, everybody. Game Time Brian here, otherwise known as the Mailman, streaming from my mama's basement. It's kind of a dreary day out. I'll tell you one thing. It stormed big time. There was tornadoes, not here, but in the area, supposedly all along the East Coast, even all the way up to Marks, which is like 3 hours away. Um, Ugly weather, but what's not ugly is we are 33 days away from Cowboys at MetLife and the New York Football Giants. I will be there representing the boys, hopefully bringing some content. I know their Wi-Fi is really good there, so I should be good. Just I can't believe how fast this is coming on us, and it seems like we got a lot to do as a football team. We've heard how real talented our defense is, and it is. Our defensive line, to the Eagle fans who watch this, I don't know if you don't respect us or you think we're good, but not as good as you. I'm telling you now, our defensive line is going to be better than the Eagles. You heard it here. Um, it just is. It's that good. Um, and you'll see. You don't take my word for it. You'll see we were very good. We were top 10 last year with the additions of Mozzie Smith. The young guys having a year more under, like another year under their belt, especially in the strength and conditioning program at the NFL. It's especially with the Cowboys. It's second to none. I'm excited about it as a Cowboy fan. The everybody else is going to see how good this defense is. It is going to be good. We're deep. We come in waves. I just want to start off by talking about one of the camp battles that we had talked about. We'll get into a couple of the battles just briefly. Neville Gallimore is actually not winning his battle. Remember, I said Quentin Bohanna versus Neville Gallimore. Something's got to shake down there. They're both not going to be on the team. Neville has not looked great. Not really sure what's going on with him. He had a lot of promise. Um, you know, his footing on this team isn't the best but the games have yet to be played. These games are going to be huge for guys like Neville Gallimore, who is looking good. And it seemed like the light switch has came on is Quentin Bohanna. He looks like he actually is getting it. He's just not thinking out there. He's actually getting upfield a little bit. Um, Actually doing really well. So, that is starting to shape up, but they still got to play the games. These guys, anybody on the bubble, you'll know who's high up on the Cowboys based on their playing time in the preseason games. Like they're going to put out, excuse me, they're going to put out an unofficial depth chart. I'll be curious to see what that is because that'll give you some insight as to what the Cowboys are thinking. But yeah, so Neville Gallimore, not so much. Quentin Bohannon looking good. Another guy, it seems like Nashawn Wright is edging out Boss Man Fat. Um, I like Nashawn Wright. He's a little tall to be a corner, but he's making plays out there, and he seems to be around the ball all the time. Boss Man just gets beat out of his feet. You saw the CD Lamb last week or a few days ago. Um, he just was dusting him on three straight plays. Like in one, like in the 11 on 11, he was just dusting him, just faking him out of his shoes. So I don't know. I think Nashawn Wright has the inside track over Boss Man Fat, and on the offense, my guy Jalen Brooks is just shining too much at this point. He's doing too well. I loved him, but I didn't think he'd be doing this good, along with Jalen Tolbert. But Jalen Tolbert's on this team. A guy like Jalen Brooks, you would think maybe, just maybe, we could sneak him onto the practice squad. We can't do that now. And when the games start, barring injury, you're going to see how good he is. This 6'2" guy, just goes up and attacks the ball. Just look out for number 83, who's not looking as good, who I think is the end is near for him, and I'm not, it's just the NFL way. Is Simi Fehoko. I think Simi Fehoko's days are numbered as a Cowboy, unless, like I said, you still got to play these preseason games. So we shall see. But those three camp battles up till now, that's how it's going. So take that for what it's worth. Just keep an eye out for these games. But let's not sugarcoat this. The elephant in the room, as they say. The elephant in the room is Zack Martin. I got news for the people who think, it's not a big deal. He's going to be in. He's just taking time off from camp. That's not the case. The fines have accrued over $600,000, and there's no end in sight. Some of these people just think it's a joke. Are we not listening to Jerry Jones out in the media and what he's saying about Zack Martin? They actually will be going for a portion of his prorated signing bonus, upwards of $9 million. So it's getting serious in the point where teams are calling the Cowboys to see. They're like, and I saw this on for the Love of the Star podcast. They're reaching out saying, I know you're not trading Zack Martin, but if it gets irreconcilable, that scary word, keep us in mind. And the word out of the front office is they're dug in. Now, I think a deal will get done, but the problem is if you want to go where you want to go, it has to get done. There's nobody you're going to bring in. Like Matt Farniok is the best guard we have in camp that's not a starter. If you have to start out with Matt Farniok, you'll be able to get by, but just remember, you got Terrence Steele that's coming off an ACL injury. He's back, but just remember, you want an all-pro like Zack Martin next to him. You don't want a younger Matt Farniok. Matt Farniok should be the backup. But, it's not good. I'm not as high as it, I originally said he would be right in. Since he didn't come right in, I think this is going to extend a bit. You have video of Zack Martin working out. This, I think he'll be with the Cowboys. I really do. But again, like I told Mark was like, all is good. All is not good in my opinion. This is one of those deals where this is a team leader. We've seen time and time again where just look at, this past weekend, to Marcus Ware. I think we traded him too early in his career. He ended up going to Pro Bowls, and he was the main reason why the Broncos made a Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl. He actually helped, the linebacker who's now in Buffalo, out of Texas. I can't think of his name right now, but he signed a big deal with the Bills, that defensive end. He said that he credits DeMarcus for making him understand the pro game. So too many times. I'm sure if the Eagles fans had to do it, if the Eagles organization had it to do again, they would never have let Brian Dawkins leave. That was a huge mistake. Brian Dawkins went on to Denver and had a great career with Denver. It's just, anytime a guy has more Pro Bowls than penalties, like you said on my last video, Zack Martin has 6 holding penalties, or penalties in his career. I think he has 8 Pro Bowls. So anytime you have that, he should never leave the building. Okay, he should never, and he's still at the top of his game. So we need to find a way to get this done and get it done relatively soon. But to think that this is not a serious thing, he is 32. Okay, he's 32. His cap, it balloons up to 23.3 million in 2024 anyway. So let's not think for 1 minute that we weren't going to redo his deal anyway. Now, there might have been some kickers in there that Zack doesn't really care about, and it's not going to give him any more money. Maybe it was just like add a void year or something. But his cap was ballooning anyway. So in 2024, they were going to have to address it. So we need to do it now. He's 32. Extend it out. He's probably going to play at least 3 more years. Make it a 5-year deal, a 3-year with a couple void years. Just get it over with. But we have some time, but it's more serious than people think. So I'm just letting you know, it's not like an agreement for him to sit out. You don't lose $600,000 and counting and doing this. It's not good, people. I'm worried about our offensive line because after our 5 starters, you got Farniak, and then you got a lot of young pieces. You got our backup O line. I think we're going to need to do like some sort of trade. Maybe like swap the guys that you might release towards the end of camp. Maybe, hey, we'll give you a Fahoko or we'll give you a Gallimore, and we'll take on a veteran guard. Guard is a big issue for us, because if we have any injuries, we're just thin. We have a lot of young, talented guys, but they're young. And young and protecting your quarterback don't go well together. So look for us to make moves to improve our 7th, 8th, 9th offensive tackle. Our top 6, like I said Farniak is our 6th guy. He's a swing guy, and you got, well, let's go, but we're going to need to get somebody. Josh Ball's not cutting, and he's getting the majority of work at right guard. Meh. Who's not looking good, and I warned everybody not to get too excited is the free agent pickup, Chuma Edoga. He seems to be getting beat at guard and at tackle, which is what I said. He's not a tackle. He's a guard. While they're trying to play him at tackle, it's more of a, it's that, oh, look, we got to have that position flex, so no, he ain't going to make the team, okay? So you hear it now. We haven't even played one game. Chuma Edoga will not be on the 53-man roster. If he is, then I apologize big time. But, and like another reason why I don't think a deal is getting done, because I think the Cowboys are preoccupied with other things. You see that they, want to come out and get a deal with Dak Prescott early stages. Why they're broadcasting this, I don't know. It's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. But at the end of the day, you really do need to show Zack the money, because we're in deep dookie if we don't get it done. Please show him the money. Show me the money! We need to show the man the money, because we're not looking good. As far as backups, now I told you our defense is stacked. But if you had to tell me a weakness, it's our backup offensive tackles. Now I know a lot of teams would say that, but we're more so, especially with a guy like Dak Prescott, which you can't have. We don't want to get injured. I would say backup offensive tackle, and I would say running back. I would say running back is an issue. I would. Everybody's saying, it's funny because the coaches are saying, oh, we're good. It's about the reps. We want these young guys to get reps, and that's all. That's fine. There's no immediate unless Zeke signs somewhere. There's no real immediate, because you want to get into games and see Rico Dowdle. You want to see Malik Davis. Deuce Vaughn's here. Okay, Ronald Jones, he's out now with a hamstring. He's going to be out a couple weeks. I'm telling you, like I told you guys when they first brought him in, guys are like, oh, I think Mark had said, well, he averages 4.4 yards a carry or something like that. And, we already know he's going to miss the first 2 games of the year. Now he's out. Doesn't bode well. I'm worried about our short yardage running game. You got Tony Pollard, okay? He's not your short yardage between the tackles guy. You don't want him doing that. Can he do it? Possibly. You got Deuce Vaughn, who I think is going to be a third down specialist. You don't want him running up in the A gaps. You're going to rely on Hunter Lepke, a rookie fullback? Maybe. I'm not going to say you're not. I keep hearing the John Kuhn reference with the Green Bay Packers. That's an option. And I keep hearing Rico Dowdle is bigger than Malik Davis and is going to push, for the number 2 running back. I ask you people, are you, nothing against Rico, but are you happy going into Buffalo in December with Rico Dowdle? So I'm actually worried about our running back depth. If we lose Pollard to injury, or if we're going to go with Dowdle, Ronald Jones is not going to be available anytime soon. I don't think he's going to make the team at this point. He might start out the year on PUP, which means you got to miss the first 4 weeks. He'll have 2 on with the suspension, and then the other 2. I don't know, but Jerry Jones wants Zeke here. Make no mistake. Every day, it's almost like the coaches are hoping that Zeke signs with a team to shut Jerry up. But there's a rumor coming out, and that I'm not liking. I am not liking this rumor. The 49ers just lost Elijah Mitchell yet again. Now, it's not a season-ending injury. It's a short-term injury. But they brought in some lower-level running backs. But where Zeke is probably going to sign and how much he's going to make, do you really want Zeke on the 49ers? Could you imagine that 1-2 between Christian McCaffrey and Ezekiel Elliott? And then an Elijah Mitchell on like a third down type of guy, or like when they go with their 2-down sets? That's like a perfect. That's like my worst nightmare. I could care less if he went to the Eagles or Patriots. If he goes to the Niners, Zeke to the Niners, nah. No. So we need to really do our due diligence. Zeke needs to stay patient. Please, Zeke. Dak, talk to Zeke. Let's get through a couple of these preseason games. I think Malik Davis is he's good, but like when I'm starting to hear that Rico can beat him out for number 2 because he's a little bit bigger, he might fit better with Tony Pollard, I'm a little concerned. If you can bring Zeke in for $2-3 million on a 1-year deal, you should do that. If he goes to the Niners, I ain't gonna be happy. So that's the rumor. Supposedly the Niners have reached out and are just getting their feelers out there. Let me know what you think about Ezekiel Elliott and Christian McCaffrey. You gonna like that? We got to go into San Fran week 4, I believe. I'm not really excited about our toughness at running back, especially going down the stretch and in the playoffs. Now, it's like when you start talking about the one position, okay, I originally thought safety was an issue. Man, we're locked. We're locked on that defense. There's no issues on our defense, even linebacker. Micah Parsons came out and lauded Leighton Vander Esch, thanking the Cowboys for bringing him back. He's the one guy that he really wanted back as well. And it makes you wonder why. When you have Damone Clark there, you have Jabril Cox fighting for a spot. You got a young DeMarvion Overshone who's wearing the green dot. And he's looking good. Don't get me wrong, but he is a rookie. Like I warned the Eagles, like the Eagles fans. I warned you guys about relying on rookies for a lot. I mean, these are all talented guys. Jalen Carter, very talented. Their defensive ends out of Georgia, very talented. DeMarvion Overshone for the Cowboys, 3rd round, very talented. He's wearing the green dot, very smart, he looks very good in a system. But yet, going into NFL games and then especially a whole season, being able to stay healthy when these college players aren't normally used to playing that many games. Even Georgia, even though they played a lot of the games in the post, they don't have a lot of postseason, but they play deep into the season. Still doesn't compare to the NFL schedule. So I was surprised to hear Parsons say that Leighton Vander Esch is the guy who makes him feel all warm and fuzzy because he looks good. He knows all the calls on that defense. And it's obvious why. Mike is going to be playing a lot less linebacker if he plays any. I'm sure he'll play some because Dan Quinn is reluctant to Dan Quinn's reluctant to say that he's a defensive end. So, or an edge rusher, however you want to say it. So, I think he'll play some linebacker in certain situations. Won't be passing. If it's a third and long, he's coming for you. So we'll see about that. Maybe he'll play more middle, or like linebacker in the close running situations since we're really deep on our ends. But, so I was just surprised how he was high on Leighton. I think Leighton gets overlooked. I'm glad they brought him back. He is the perfect guy when he could stay healthy. He stayed healthy last year. So, if Mike is happy, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? So, last thing I want to get to, and, I don't watch the show. I'm not going to watch the show. I think the show is on its last legs. I really do. I think these format shows are on their last legs. Richard Sherman is going to join Undisputed. He is going to join Undisputed for 50 to 100 shows. And he goes along with Lil Wayne, who's going to be there once a week, with Skip Shameless, I call him. Skip Shameless, Mr. Loudmouth. He's just... I'm not going to watch it. I think the show's on its last legs. Seeing nothing against you, Richard Sherman, Lil Wayne, but seeing who's going to be on there, I think if we all get on the same page as Cowboy fans and don't watch it, I think this will be the last legs of the show. I can't really stand the man, honestly. I'm not saying, I know Stephen A. thanked him a lot, and the reason why they, he's a clickbaiter. That's what he does. He's a lifelong Cowboy fan, but all he does is shit on the Cowboys. So, Skip Shameless. I ain't going to watch you, bro. Sure as hell ain't going to watch Richard Sherman. He sounds like Kermit the Frog. A little bit. And I ain't going to watch Lil Wayne with you. He could sing. He could sing me something. He rap me something, whatever, but I ain't watching you, Skip. So hopefully we can get him off air. I think Stephen A. Smith is on his way out. I think by him coming out and saying he wants Michael Irvin to appear on his show, I think Stephen A. is doing the same sort of thing. He doesn't want a steady co-host. Stephen A. has a lot of options outside of ESPN, in primetime type options. Stephen A. is an actual journalist. I think he had a long time at Philly. Whether I agree, obviously he trolls the Cowboys. But I think it's lighthearted, honestly. He always does it with a smile. Whereas Skip Shameless, he likes to really stick the knife and he gets brutal. This goes way back. Not just Dak Prescott. He hammered Romo, and this goes back to Troy Aikman, where he created this false narrative that Troy Aikman was a homosexual, and it really made Troy uneasy. And we don't need this guy talking shit on our Cowboys anymore. So I ain't watching it. I hope you guys don't watch it. Hopefully he'll be gone soon, and I'll be able to sleep a little better as a Cowboy fan, that we don't have yet one more person shitting on us. But that's basically it. Just keep an eye out for this Saturday night. I'm gonna try and stream. I gotta see if the game is on in my area. I let Primetime know. I said I'm hoping that the game is going to be live. You know, like sometimes the NFL Network will delay the game or show it at a later time. I have the YouTube package, but I don't believe that includes preseason games. So I got to figure that out. Hopefully, I can stream it. Either way, I'll be on with Phil and or probably both. Like we still got to figure all that. I know Mark's going to stream it. I'm going to have to talk to Mark. Maybe Mark would know if I can get it somehow streamed. But we'll work all that out. I will have more videos this week. Stay tuned. If anything breaks, I am off today. I'm in the mama's basement. I got some stuff to do outside. Looks like it stopped raining and a little windy, but I got some stuff to do. I'll hop on, and I'll give you the updates. I am going to start going live from the mama's basement more. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys liked it. If you could share this video, that would be good. I need, the more eyes, the merrier. Don't forget to put the notifications on so you get me. When I do drop a video, I would really appreciate it. Hope everybody has a good day. I hope to talk to you soon. Game Time Brian is out. Late.